Y'all already know what it is. Your boy Yaakov, what it do? The outlet to reality, the holdest podcast in Vegas and Chicago. What up? This is the place where you want to hide from your drama or maybe hide from your baby mama. Aha! Just kidding. Y si tú quieres cambiar tu vida, if you want to change your life, then subscribe. Ching! And by the way, guys, I just published a book called Shabbat in Chicago. It's about an audacious single mom who opens her heart and home to five adopted kids while embracing her Latino culture while being Jewish. And by the way, I do have a documentary based on my book called Shabbat in the Shy. It's out on YouTube. Please check it out. And today we have a very special guest who is my cousin, my family, one of the best rappers in the game, the one and only Dre Marro. Woo!
What up, guys? What up? What up? How we doing tonight? How's everybody feeling?
We're doing good, brother. I'm happy I was able to get you. I got sad, brother. I was like, I've been trying to get you for a minute, and I've been missing. I've been missing you. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how to tell you.
It's been tough, man. It's been busy. I think we both of our schedules have been crazy, and but I'm glad to be here. I'm glad you made the time to have me, and here we are, man. It was a busy day. I just got back from a set. I just did a set at the Kenosha Yacht Club. It was a good time. I performed God Flow, Levitating Piano Man, and my song Focus, and the crowd was dope. It's an open mic night hosted by the Spirit Shakers. We have a really good relationship, though. I support them, they support me, and I had to hop out and throw some tracks down. I just got home, got me some Taco Bell, and I set everything up for the podcast. I was like, yo, we gotta keep it going.
I love it, Primo. And tell us too, like, I know you've been doing a lot of stuff. I want to talk about one of your recent mixtapes that came out. It came out like a few months ago, but there's a part in the song where you say the guy from Miami. You mentioned the guy from Miami.
Oh, yeah.
Can you break that down? Because I thought maybe he was a mailman. He got stuck and he didn't bring your mail. So can you tell us who were you referencing, and it was that a stalker that you were trying to hide from, or like, please spill the beans.
You're talking about Focus, right? The end of Focus.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that song, bro, was definitely part of like a healing process for me. I was going through a lot in the beginning of the year, and I would say from like February to about April, a lot of personal things happened in my life, and a really close friend of mine, I found out was and betrayed me in a crazy way. So at the end of the song, I say, this is for that dude, for respect, for respect. It's almost like an inside joke with the person themselves, because we grew up together, and that was one of our first songs. We were like in middle school. It was called For Respect, the song. So I shouted to him, and then I said, his girl went out to Miami and got smashed, and I was just kind of like airing out a little bit of dirty laundry of, of the guy, but it was therapeutic. I mean, looking back on it, it was definitely on some demon time, and I probably should have kept some of that in. But part of it is like, look, this is my story. It's my journey. That's how I decided to unleash what I was going through at the time, and made some good music out of it, because Focus is one of my top songs, and people love the beat, they love the energy, they love the intensity in the song. So yeah, that was on some petty shit, just talking my rapper shit, but that's how it goes.
You know what? The good thing is you spoke from the heart, and in the rap game, you technically have to diss each other. It's a part of the game. In the rap battle, you have to diss, right? I'm gonna be honest. When I was paying attention to the lyrics, right, I was listening to it. It's almost like a goodbye Mufasa. The name Mufasa.
Yeah.
Can you explain that? Because I'm gonna be honest. I got sad. I think I lost a teardrop, maybe two or three. But I wanted to, figure out why goodbye, why change the name, or why move away from that name? Because you've had that for a while. Can you share that?
Yeah. So right, I rap under Dre Marro, but for the longest time, my alias or my nickname was Mufasa. I just thought of that when I was young. I used to really love Lion King. I always, even since I was a kid, the original Lion King, there's a scene where Simba looks into the water, And instead of it being a reflection of him, it was a reflection of Mufasa. And so that's kind of what my metaphor was like, you're a reflection of a king, of a lion. You know, you might be going through your journey and growing, but all of us have that reflection of our legacy, of what our ultimate, you know, in that case, Simba's legacy was his father Mufasa, but we all have a legacy within us. So it was definitely an era. It was definitely a nickname I gave myself, and that it kind of caught on. I would, you know, I even put the lion in my logo for a long time. But like every artist, we go through evolution, and I feel like I've moved away from that. You know, I still believe that, you know, everyone should have the heart of a lion and should fight for what they want. However, I feel like the chapter of Mufasa is just over. Like now, I'm stepping into a new phase of my music career, professionally, stylistically, sonically, and so with that change, I feel like a name is appropriate. And I chose Godflow because, you know, it sounds, there's a lot of meanings to the name Godflow too, which a lot of people don't get. And I'll tell you, I'm glad that we're interviewing and I'm talking about it. But so the initial reason that I called that mixtape Godflow, and why I say that a lot in my music and I refer to myself as that, is I've developed a really strong relationship with God. You know, not through church or not through other things, but just through affirmation, just through Him answering my prayers in mysterious ways, being down and not having anywhere else to go but to find that relationship with God, and that being the light sometimes in my day that would keep me away from having really dark and bad thoughts. At the end of it, I look at it like God literally has blessed me with the ability to speak, the intelligence to be able to write music, the voice to be able to captivate people. And so I feel like I'm using his blessing to connect with others, to hopefully inspire others, to cultivate a movement in hip hop and in my community. So I'm Godflow, you know. God is speaking to me through hip hop, and that's Godflow. That's the original meaning of it, you know. And I even put his name first because it's God first. You know, it's not the flow God, it's Godflow. You know, without God, none of it would exist. The second meaning, and it's a double meaning, is I'm just the dopest rapper ever. In my mind, when I rap, the same way Eminem is the rap god, the same way everyone has their names. You know, Chameleon was the mixtape Messiah, and you know Drake, they call him the sixth guy. Well, I'm God Flow. You know, that's when you know I'm on the beat. And I also think that my flow has become so versatile. I literally rap over all types of genres, trap beats, boom bap beats. You know, East Coast, West Coast, trap, drill. So it's like I'm like godly with the flow. So I love that it's like a double meaning. There's two meanings behind it. It's one, me, you know, thanking God for giving me the opportunity and to have survived all the things that my Mufasa era went through. But now it's like the end of that chapter into the Godflow chapter. And this might be the chapter that I stay in for a while. It might change. We'll just see how it evolves with the music and how I'm feeling. But I just feel like, you know, R.I.P. Mufasa, that was the last track on my EP, you know, because that era is done and we're into a new chapter, all around. And yeah.
That's beautiful, Primo. I love what you said. How it is true when you put God first, a lot of things make sense, right? In our darkest time, sometimes we feel alone, we feel trapped, we feel like there's no hope. I think when we sit down and realize, yo, there is faith, there is an opportunity to grow, right? I
Yeah.
always say there's so much down you can go, but eventually it just goes up. And the sky, there's no limit. So even though you may hit rock bottom, tomorrow is going to be better because there's only so much down you can hit rock bottom, but you eventually start rising up, right? And I want to share a little something. You share something very powerful, and I'm very, I like sharing about faith and God and stuff like that. Something that came to my mind, I think you're gonna like this. Did I ever tell you about the story of Job?
I don't think so.
So Job is an interesting story. I love this is one of my favorite stories of all time. So Job, he had a lot of wealth, okay? And apparently he was loved by God, his favorite. He was his favorite. This is way before Jesus' time. This is like back in the days, and Satan is talking to God, and he's like, you know, God is like, "How's my boy Job? Oh, he's amazing. He keeps doing what you tell him to do. He's good." So Satan goes, "But if you let me basically take away all his things, I bet he's not gonna follow you no more." So Job, let's just to understand him, Job had a beautiful family. He had a lot of wealth. He had a lot of. He was a very wealthy, and he has a family. He had a beautiful wife. He had kids, and he's like, yeah. Satan goes, let me take away everything from Job,
Yeah.
and God said, all right, I'll let you do whatever you want, but there's one thing: you cannot touch his soul. He said, okay. So watch what happens. The next day, Job loses everything. His family, they died. His property, destroyed. All his sheep and flocks, gone. All he has is his wife. And his wife says, honey, I think you got to believe in someone else because look what God did to us. We lost everything. And it said that at that moment, and Job said, no, I can't. I believe in him. Because she said those words, it said that she died. And now Job is alone. So he goes visit his friends. He's like, yo, something's wrong, man. I lost everybody. And you could say at this moment, he did hit rock bottom. So he went to see his friends. They're all like kings. And it's like, he went to see them. He's like, hey, did I do something wrong to deserve this? And his friends are kings. They're like, maybe you did something wrong and there's a lesson you had to learn, but I'm not sure what it is. But he's like, I've been doing everything right, everything what I'm supposed to do. I've been following God, His commandments. So he couldn't find an answer. And then later on, he got leprosy and he got sick. And then for the first time, Job is angry with God. He's telling him, how could you do this to me? Why did you, he's pouring out a lot of anger. I'm paraphrasing, pouring out all his anger. And he's actually disrespecting God. And God says a line that's so powerful. He says, were you there when I created the heavens and the earth? And he goes, nah. And it's crazy because Job finally learned to forgive God. And because he did, right? Eventually, later on in the story, this is the end of the story. It said that he had double portion of wealth, and he found a new wife and had a new family. It's an amazing story. Now, the quiz I have for you, and you're gonna love this quiz, is why was his name Job? That's the quiz for you.
Okay.
What do you think?
Why do I think his name was Joe?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, this is gonna blow your mind, so hold on to your seat. His name is Job, spelled in English Job. He was the man to do the job.
Oh, okay.
You see that? So anytime you're going through a struggle, whether it's relationship, whether it's a music, you had a like you're stuck and you're trying to create something, or things not working at home with family, or it could be financially too, and you're like, man, I don't know if I can do this. You have to remember that you're the man for the job.
Man, for the job, the
Job.
Job.
Yeah. So you're
Yeah.
being tested right now, but God is gonna get you out of that, and you're gonna get through it, but better. So you
Yeah.
always gotta remember, nothing's impossible, and just remember, you gotta remember when you're hitting that rock bottom, you know it's coming. You're like, man, I'm the man to do the job, and that's gonna change your perspective.
Bro, you know what's crazy is it's so interesting how people's perspectives can shape the way they look at an event or they look at a situation. There was one time, I'm going to give you a quick moment. I drive Amazon Flex. I've been doing it for 5 years. I do it on the side. I have a regular day job, but when I make some extra money, I do some routes. But years back, there was a point where I was really hurting hard. I picked up a route, and I had just enough money to put gas in the car to get to the route and do the route. No money for food or nothing like that. So I'm doing the delivery, hungry, and I have like literally, I think I had like $5, right? I'm like, what am I gonna get that's $5? And I was in this like nice neighborhood and like what? I think I was like near Volo, Illinois, like in that area where it's like suburbish, And freaking ice cream truck comes around the corner in the neighborhood. No, I wasn't around Lake. I wasn't around Lake. It was like a cool neighborhood. Comes around the corner, ice cream sandwiches. You can get two of them for like 250 or something like that. So $5. Bro, I ate those ice cream sandwiches so delicious, man. And I felt like it was the man upstairs, man. It was God who was looking out for me because I was struggling in every way possible, and I really needed the last of my money that I really had was to record a song, to send it in for a contest, and I actually ended up winning that particular contest. It was for the hot sauce remix by Trump's Beats, which shout out to him on Instagram, and I won a $500 prize and helped me pay my rent. It was crazy, but at the time, if I wouldn't have sacrificed to record and during the contest, I would never been there. So it's just a little tidbit for people to hear is like, so if you're doing what you're supposed to do and you're giving it your all, God is watching you. He's going to help you. If you're really trying to bless other people and you really have a good purpose for your goals, God will be there. He will never give you something you can't handle.
Yeah, that's deep. I like that. I like that. That was really good, Primo. I can tell a lot. You've you've matured a lot, Primo. You sound different. I don't know how to tell you. You sound like
Thank you.
you sound like a scholar now. You know.
It's good.
But it's good. I'm really proud of you. You know what I'm saying? I think you're doing big things. I know you're about to go to Arizona to perform. If you want to share a little bit, I think that's big news.
Yeah. November
Please.
22nd. Shout out to Epic TV Media and Eddie August. Eddie August, my new management, and he's got connections with all these media and podcast outlets. A big relationship with Arizona, and Tucson is where the university is at. So it's a big college town. There's a lot of young people going to events and shows. So I'm really excited to tap into that market. I'm going to be performing on the 22nd. It's really an honor to be a part of it with Epic TV Media, Philosophy, Solo Wins, so many names. And I'm just grateful. They just had me on their podcast the other night, and we talked. They played a couple of my music videos. It's funny, they actually asked me about Focus as well. They were like, "Yo, what's the scoop on that?" And I think it's hilarious when people ask me because it's like it's my life, man. My life was put into my music, so that's just who I'm going to be, and hopefully people can come along on the journey, and it's a good time.
I love it. I love it, Primo. And you saying that's next month? Is that next month or this month?
And Tucson is next month in November.
November. Okay, okay. Just making sure, making sure. And then what other
This the legendary Candlelight Beats.
okay, what's up, brother?
So
We actually recently been recording a lot of songs as well. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, that's good, Primo. We need you. We need you back. I was waiting for a call, and you answer, and we're back. You know what I'm saying?
For real.
I was gonna say, Primo, I'm gonna give you a challenge. I know this is a tough challenge, but not a freestyle. But I think you should do a rap. So I'm gonna tell you something, not to get too political, but Zach Bryan, who's like a big country artist, actually made a new song called Bad News, where he's dissing Ice. And I thought it
Oh
was really cool to see a country superstar who majority of his fans are MAGA, but the fact that he did a song dissing Ice, that was huge. That was like a whole nother level.
yeah,
I was real happy because I'm gonna be honest. I listened to the song. I was like, "Yo, it's a good song," and I definitely could relate to it. I think Primo. I think it's time. I don't know if you were ready or thought about it, but I think it's time for you to write a song about ICE. Because think about it. Our parents were immigrants. I'm gonna be honest with you. One of my close friends in Vegas, he actually got taken from ICE, and he's American citizen, Latino, and it's crazy because it's happening all over the U.S. Don't matter if you don't have papers, if you speak Spanish and you look brown, they're ready to get you. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
I think you doing a rap song, I'm be honest with you, sharing about how your family came to America, being Guatemalan, that would be so powerful because not only you gotta look at like this little baby when he did that song, I think it's called Take a Picture, where he's talking about how what happened with George Floyd, and he did a beautiful song. That song was so powerful politically, rapping wise. It was so powerful because he talks about how there's these riots, and then how people want to arrest those cops that did what they did, right? And they want them to go to jail. And it's crazy because Lil Baby, I have more respect for him because he's talking about current events that happens, not about gangs, not about other stuff, drugs. He talked about what's happening in the world with America. So I think, fam, if you do something that has to do with why immigrants do help the country, right? And how
yeah,
ICE is the enemy, you know, I think that would be huge because now, if you look at it, and we talked about legacy, this would show that, man, this homie's he's looking out for the Latinos. You know what I'm saying? Remember
yeah,
how you said God flow? We gotta make
yeah,
this flow.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But that's
Yeah.
my thing. I don't know what you think, but that's
That's
my
actually,
my
yeah,
input.
that sounds like great. Imagine I call it Coke No Ice. I'm pulling to the drop the yo. Can I get a large Coke No Ice?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Hey,
That'd
you
be
know
good.
what? That's a catchy title. I'm not gonna lie. It's a catchy hook. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
You see, we're thinking now. We're brainstorming.
Yeah, yeah. Now I wanna go. But
Oh man.
but yeah, I thought that was really cool, Primo. And then last thing, Primo, any thoughts or any advice you want to give to people, and
So,
for your listeners, your friends, anything you want to share, fam, to the fans.
um, I want to say thank you to everybody that's been supporting my music, sharing my videos, coming out to the local events that I'm doing. They come out to the events when I go to different states or different territories. I haven't toured in about a year and a half, almost going on 2 years. So me going to Arizona is going to be great for me to get out of the Wisconsin, Chicagoland area. I mean, I've gone to like, nearby areas, but it's been a couple years since I've been like south for sure. So that'll be awesome to kind of connect out there. Um, I got a mixtape out on all streaming platforms called Godflow. Some of the best body of work that I've ever put together. I just put out a single called Forever featuring uh, D-Man the Takeover and Michael Bakerman as a producer. Um, October 22nd, Wednesday. I don't know when this is dropping, but it'll be on the 22nd Wednesday. We're going to have the 10th edition of Bar Work, which is going to be a Halloween edition of it. We're also going to be premiering a single. It'll be a single release party. The feature artist is also the feature on that single. His name is Joe Cotton. It's my Guatemalan brother here in the Kino who also does music, and he's very good at it, I would say. Um, yeah, I don't know. That was a lot. But
No, that's good. That's good, Primo. Thank you. And like I said, it's an honor for you to be back on the show, guys. This is the Outlet to Reality, the oldest podcast in Vegas and Chicago every Tuesday. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Ching! Y'all know where to find me. I'm on Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, The Outlet to Reality. My Snapchat, Take One Pass It, and my TikTok is at Yaakov28. And Primo, where can my fans find you?
From a broken place, hip hop, show me its open space to inspire and motivate, support or cultivate. Get in the booth and record a tape. The music correlates, not in the normal states like a wanna mic like I'm Norman Bates. This is the story of a young man who had the skills to rap on boom bap and trappies unmatched. Used to freestyle about the items in my lunch bag. When it came to music, I would lose it like a bus pass. Thought I felt most alive as I busted rhyme. Cause I remember the first time I heard Busta Rhymes. Twist a pun, Eminem, just like a wildfire. Hip hop spread through me from MP3s on LimeWire. Listen, hey, hitting them with an incredible rhythm of fucking the system like edibles. It is inevitable. Level the hell out of anyone claiming the hella dope. Within a minute, I'm giving them hints of diminishing. Oh yeah, they feeling them.
Ooh.
You can find me at Dre Marro 262 on all major streaming platforms. Google me, Dre Marro. I'm on Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon Music, Tidal, anything out there. Just look me up.